Hey, what is up, everybody? This is your boy AJTRIP, and welcome to Video Game Talk, the review of WWE 2K23. I have been playing it non-stop for a week now, and I have to say, it's one of the better WWE 2K games there has been, but there are still some issues with the game, certain modes, things like that, and we'll get into all of that. But let me first tell you how I just am just incredibly fun it is. It still needs, for the gameplay, for like the wrestling, it still needs to be a true simulation. And what I mean by that is it's not like last year's game where you could just beat up somebody and then they pop right back up. You can actually still do it, but you have to hit the like R trigger, something like that. It still happens from time to time, but they now added like a stamina thing now so that you can't run sometime and you can't, and you slow it down. So there are some things that change, but it still needs to be a true simulation like literally 2K20 was. A true simulation. I would like for them also to bring back I don't know if it was 2K20 or if it was like one of the 2K19s or something like that, 2K18, I can't remember which one it was, but I would like for them to bring back the squash match. In one of those earlier games, when the bell would run, if you ran at an opponent, if your thing was like, let's say your overall was 90, and you were wrestling somebody who was like 60 or 70, something like that, you ran at them at the beginning, and then you hit them. Their energy would go all the way down. It would be all the way down in red. You would you would automatically get like a signature, and then you could use your signature, do a signature move, and then bam, hit your finisher move. 1, 2, 3. That's a squash match. I would like to see them bring back the squash match. I think not only for universe mode, but for also like the regular modes as well. Bring that back. I think that's be a cool thing to do. If you knock down the ref does a slow count when he gets back up. If you knock down the ref and then like after he gets back up and you quickly go for a pin, he would go for a slow. He would count slow as like the refs do in real life. Although I think what I would like for them, I wouldn't want the ref to get back up. I would want the ref to stay on the mat and then do the slow count. 1, 2, 3. Do that. But I do like that. Showcase mode with John Cena I thought was really good. In this one, you don't play as John Cena. You play as all his opponents, the people who beat John Cena. And if you go through the entire thing, then they ask you a question of who do you think is the best, and then best the opponent for John Cena, and then when you select who you think the greatest opponent of John Cena was, they do a match where it's not even a match. You get the John Cena. He squashes you, picks you up. You don't even play. 1, 2, 3, you win. But then they go ahead and then they allow you to play. You have to play as Super Cena, and your Super Cena is invisible. You can't see him, like he likes to say. So that's really cool. And then when you go through all of that, you gotta play as John Cena in a WrestleMania Legends match against Hulk Hogan, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Bruno Sammartino. They got Bruno Sammartino in the game, believe it or not. That's unreal. And he does it, and he's you have to, it's an elimination match, and once you do that, you can, you get old school Hulk Hogan with the yellow trunks. You get Bruno. You already got Stone Cold Steve Austin, obviously. So it's showcase mode was good this year. Great. John Cena, 20 years, 2 decades of dominance. It has been a wild ride for John Cena, and the showcase medal I thought really was a good shout out for him to um, going to John Cena. They did a great job of choosing the right one. I still think, and at some point they should do like um, some like a specific one where you can wrestle as different people. Not necessarily do one like with Rey Mysterio or Daniel Bryan or anything like that. Do some like WrestleMania, the best matches in WrestleMania history. We had to redo Bret and Owen, although you actually probably couldn't do that because unfortunately the wife will not let WWE use Owen's image and likeness and probably for them. So, oh well, yeah, that's a bummer. But you know what I'm talking about. There would be other things like that. Yeah, you couldn't do SummerSlam either because Bret and Owen had a great SummerSlam match that you can't do. So it's just whatever. But I would like to see them uh, in the next couple of years do a thing like that where it's something maybe it's something where you can play different people in different matches. Maybe you do things like the first evers, right? Maybe the first ever ladder match, right? Razor and Shawn, right? Obviously we know Bret and Shawn did one, but in canon it's Razor and Shawn, right? First ever ladder match. Maybe the first ever Hell in a Cell will be Undertaker and Shawn, right? The first ever Buried Alive, Undertaker and Mankind. First blood match was Austin and Kane. The Inferno match, Kane and the Undertaker. You see what I'm saying? Just all of the first matches, maybe that's what you do, and then you can play those, and then you would get those guys, and you would cover Undertaker 1996 or whatever, and then Undertaker 1997 for and Shawn Michaels 97, the Generation X basically. So you would do all of those things in those first ever type of matches. So yeah, the showcase was great. I still think that when it comes to the creation suite, they've changed a little bit when it came to it used to be that you could do easy creation when you're talking about create a entrance. It could be easy and it can be advanced. And then last year they just took the advanced away and did easy, basically. And now this year they took easy away and you could do the advanced one. So I think they need to keep it so that you can do it easy or advanced. And what they also need to do, and I will say this: they added new songs this year, which was okay. There was some new songs and new things like that. That's fine. Is that I don't mind having the old music for the creative interest, but just keep putting on new music each and every month, each and every year that you put the game out, and that's okay. But I think one of the things that they really got to do is they really need to come up with maybe 25 to 30 your Money in the Bank, your title motion, all of that be the same thing. That's what you holding, the title of Money in the Bank, and they need to focus more on that, and build that up, and make that a lot better. And that also goes for like the victories too, so that when you select the template, it can pop up there. Would you want it to go to victories too? Select yes, and then when you go to victory, it's a generic victory 1 that for like generic superstar 1. So I think that's what they got to do with that. The create a superstar stuff I think is still great. I wouldn't change anything like that. I do like the way like this. Again, I'm gonna say they need to add more generic stuff to it, and not just because a lot of those generic things are just you know, superstar outfits without color. And that's just what it is. There's actually one that is just a total ripoff of Bret Hart's. So they need to add some more real generic clothing and outfits and things like that. Um, the move set, I think, it's good. They can maybe work on some of these things. You don't need to do all of those things, especially the taunts. There is no need for you to have so many goddamn taunts. It is ridiculous. And again, make them generic. If you get generic Superstar 1, then have taunts for generic Superstar 1. It's really weird and just yeah. And it should be like that for like the move set. That's what it should be. So you do it like this, right? When you select the to create your superstar, and you can go to one of the things and you're like template, and then select for move set, entrance, and all that. You can do it all that from from the page that you create, right? All the page you can create, and you can do all of that. So that then when you go to it, it'll already be set. If you want to make a change here and there, you can. Same thing with the move set. Same thing with the victory. All of that stuff. If you want to make a change here and there, you can do that. But if you select generic Superstar 1, then generic Superstar 1 is going to be each and everything for all of the other creation parts of the whole suite. And I think that they need to bring that together to make it more easier for people who want to create many wrestlers, because it takes you a long time to go through all of those things and all of those moves and everything like that. It takes you 2 days. I think I got, of course I pre-ordered it and got it on Tuesday, and when Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, I think creating everything, creating all my wrestlers. I created was it 18 wrestlers? It was 4. It was 12. Yeah, it was 18 wrestlers. It was 12 guys and 6 girls. You want to see who I created on the creation suite. You can just go to community creations and just hit the hashtag AJTRIP20, and it's right under there. A lot of people, you can go in there and check. I think I made some pretty cool characters, if I may say so myself. But yeah, that's it for the creation suite. I also created an arena. I created a show, WrestleMania. I did that, so all of that's there. All of that's there. Nothing has really changed from last year. It needs to upgrade it a little bit more as well. My faction is back. Doing my faction. Just like Mutt with Madden and all of the other ones from all of the other things, they got their own my faction. I really wish they wouldn't have, but they didn't. So I'm doing it, and you have to log in every day and everything like that. So we'll do that. And yeah, it's my faction is my faction. What is what it is. Sometimes you can get lost in it, but sometimes it's kind of a fun shout. I don't do a lot of online stuff, so I can't tell you about that. And I don't do the My Rise. I used to do the My Career mode when it was used to do My Career. I don't do My Rise anymore. It's just too much to do. So I do 2 things. I do Universe modes, and yes, I do GM mode. Those of y'all who know me, when I heard that they were going to put GM mode, I was totally upset because I love Universe mode, and I said that Universe mode was it's they need to be worried about Universe mode and not trying to do GM mode, because I remember back from the old SmackDown versus Raw games, and the last GM mode that they had was garbage. It was garbage. It really was. It wasn't fun. You go in and there'd be no fans in the stands, and everything like that. So I just to me, I didn't do it. So I tried to like not be part of the whole GMO thing, but watching the couple of dudes on the Wrestle Talk channel do their mic GM made me say, all right, I have to start playing it, and I played it last year, and it was fun. And then this year, what they've added on to it is even better. You can now there's more match types. You can do triple threat. You can do fatal four way along with the tag team and 1-on-1. And then now you got Iron Man matches, and you got Falls Count Anywhere matches, and Extreme Rules, and TLC matches. All so great stuff, right? There are more power cards this year. A lot of ones. They've changed some of the power cards for the GMs, which, by the way, there's more GMs. Kurt Angle, Mick Foley, Eric Bischoff, Woods and Breeze are also there because they do their thing on up, down, down. To go along with the three remaining ones from last year, Stephanie McMahon, Adam Pearce, and Sonya Deville. And I think they should really get rid of Sonya Deville because she is obviously no longer a WWE official. She is back to being a professional wrestler. So then they need to take her out. You still gonna have a creative superstar be a GM. That they've got since NXT UK was dismissed. What they did was they you now have a choice of 5 shows: SmackDown, Raw, NXT, NXT 2.0, and WCW. Yes, that's right, WCW. You can now go to WCW and hang out with those and do WCW and beat Raw for 82 weeks, just like Eric Bischoff did, right? You can do that, and now you can have up to 4 GMs now. First, in last year's game, it was just 1-on-1, but now you can do 1-on-1. You can do 3 GMs. You can do 4 GMs, and that's insane. Because right now I'm doing one that's a 4 GM thing, GM mode, and it's just crazy. Also, it's just a lot of such good stuff. They now allow you to do other things in GM mode as well. You can shake up the season where you can get a card that can give you 6 power cards. You can get a card that can injure other players or anything like that. It's so great. Some of the things that I didn't like about it is that you can't do the title matches in triple threat or fatal 4-way matches, which I think that's got to change. You can't have a fatal 4-way match for the WWE Universal Championship, which, by the way, they've added secondary titles as well for the men. So now you can have the Intercontinental title on SmackDown or the United States Championship on Raw. I love the new layouts. Love it. You now can win trophies by doing so many things. You fill up your list, and you fill up your progress enough, you get a Hall of Fame trophy. And if you get 10 Hall of Fame trophies, you make it to the Hall of Fame. And then that's when the GM mode is over. That's when it's actually over. I think it's over when you get 10 Hall of Fame trophies, or I think you get 10 million fans, one or the other. And yeah, it's a fun time. I admit it, I was wrong about it. It's last year's GM mode was good. This one is even better. But having said that, let's go to universe mode, because there were some things there that they've added to make that better as well, right? They've done the whole thing where now when you create a rivalry, you can now add things to the rivalry. You can choose how the rivalry plays out. They give you these options to choose attack or shake hands or things like that, and it all varies on the high and is this a low rivalry, a medium rivalry? Is this a high rivalry? Is this a very high rivalry? And then things change from those things that you can do, which is totally fun. I still love it. You still, however, can't import the roster for play to the universe mode. And what I mean by that is that yeah, you can import it, but it doesn't import like the true thing. Because if you change the roster, for instance, right, Toxic Attraction is no longer. So I deleted. I disbanded the Toxic Attraction team of Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. So in the play, so when it comes for the play mode, they're not a tag team, right? But if you import it into the universe mode, that's to the tag team. That's not how it should be, and I just hate that. Or if you create a tag team, the tag team you create doesn't import into the universe mode. Excuse me. So that's what they got to do. They got to change that. They got to make sure that you're able to do that. You still can't do Saturday premium live events. There's another thing they changed. They don't say PPV anymore. They say PLE, premium live events. So you still can't put the Royal Rumbles on Sunday, and you can't do it on Saturday, and you can't put it on like Saturday old school where you have NXT on Saturday, and then the thing on, and then the PLE on Sunday. No, if you want to do that, you got to Stand and Deliver on the first Sunday in April, and then you got WrestleMania the second Sunday in April, which is stupid. You got to change that. So when you do edit these shows, if you want to edit, you can change like how many matches you want and what kind of matches show up. They need to simplify the match table, because if you go in and you edit a show and you go to the match table and like it tells you like the type of matches that you do, like 1-on-1, 2-on-2, ladder matches, hell in a cell matches, yada yada yada, right? It gives you like this percentage of like, and I guess it's supposed to equal to 100. But so they need to simplify so that it's easy to understand. Because does that mean that if you have say a 1-on-1 submission match and it's 15%, does that mean that it's liable to happen 15% of the time? There's a 15% chance it happen. They just need to simplify it. That's all they really need to do, so that make it easier for the fans to be like, hey, this is what Hey, I want this to happen on each and every show, and stop trying to stop confusing and things like that. They can simplify the match table. You should be able to swap the matches too, because you can't swap them. If you got a match, it's Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes happening on, if they want that match to be on SmackDown. Sometimes you'll see that they'll put that match like third. Put the match on third, and when you look at the main event is Ricochet versus Ludwig Kaiser. And it's like, but wait a minute, that's why is that happening? They should be able to switch the placement so that you can just, instead of deleting everything, you can just be able to, or change the participants, just be able to swap back and forth. So swap it, and then you press the L3, and then you be able to swap it with that. So then that you can keep that Kaiser Ricochet match, and keep the Rhodes and Reigns match. Just swap the placement of it. For some reason, you still can't do custom matches, and what I mean by that is that you can't change the rules like you can for the play. It's not only should you be able to change the rules in the universe mode matches, but then you should be able to save it. Okay, I created this new match. I'm gonna save it and use it in when I'm not in universe mode, when I'm just playing. For the play mode, it should be able to do. so that you can do that. You got to give you the opportunity to do that, and they don't do it. And that's one of the worst things about universe mode. And I really wish they would hurry up and change that. Like many of these games of its ilk, it's the same game as last year or the year before, just turn up a little bit. And I what I would really like to see is at least with this the WWE game, this game not be like a yearly thing. You know, there's a rumor that the AEW game is going to be that once it's come out, and it's not come out, it's got a whole bunch of stuff going on with it. But once it comes out, you won't have to buy another AEW game because they will update the game, you know, as time goes along. So if a new wrestler comes on, if a new wrestler gets signed, they'll have that wrestler for you. If a wrestler changes his look or something like that, they'll update it to change his look. I mean, really, it happens in all of the other sports games. Like in Madden, you get updated rosters in updated looks. In NBA 2K, you get updated rosters, updated looks. Major League Baseball, the show, yada yada yada. All of them, you get updated rosters and updated looks every week or every. Wrestling is an ever changing thing. You know, sometimes, a lot of times, it can be outdated. You know, WWE 2K23 with their looks and everything like that. Because they get these pictures, you know, from certain things like they got the Miz and Tommaso Ciampa from when they wore at SummerSlam this past year in Nashville. That's their look. That's their skin. That's their clothing. Now Tommaso Ciampa's been off television with injury, but Miz has totally changed his gear. Change his gear up, and that needs to be changed, and these pictures need to be changed, and a whole bunch of other things need to be changed as well. Is there anything else I need to talk about when talking about this? I guess not. I guess I'll go ahead and I'll just give you my rating. I'm giving it 4 stars. I think this is an excellent game. It's one of the better games since a few. I can't remember what 2K it was. I don't know if it was 16, 17, 18. I don't know what it was, but this is probably the best one since then. And again, it's still like I've talked about. It still needs to do a whole lot of other things, but they can do those other things. I really do think they can. So, and I hope they will. And I hope they see this. I hope they listen to it, and I hope they take it to heart. Probably not, but I would like to see them do so. All right, guys. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Let me know what you guys feel about WWE 2K23 and everything that you like and dislike and what you would like to see changed. Post your comments down below. Tell me what you guys think. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. This is your boy AJTRIP signing off. As always, be good to each other, y'all. Be careful out there. And I am out.